Echo podcast, a showcase of independent singers, songwriters, and musicians. I'm Jordan of Hi5 Music. Right now you're hearing the sounds of Isabel Pless, a singer-songwriter from Jericho, Vermont, who just released her first EP.
19 now, a beauty queen. I didn't know what it would be like to have somebody look me dead in the eyes and say, I wish you were mine. Thought I'd be scared, but all I knew was that it didn't feel right. Waited all this time just to find, what if I'm love blind?
I started playing guitar when I was 10, and then I started writing music when I was 13. And I didn't really do anything with it. I performed a little bit in middle school and high school, and then I stopped when I got to college because I was studying and I didn't have a ton of time. But then during the pandemic, everything was shut down. I had nothing to do. I wasn't working. And so I started posting clips online, on TikTok specifically, and they gained some traction, and now I'm a musician part-time.
Awesome. It was one of the things that the pandemic brought on.
Yeah, it was one of those silver lining things where, things aren't so great in general, but this is one nice thing to come out of it for me.
Yeah. And do you come from a musical family?
I don't, which is funny. My parents are not musical at all, so it was, something I just discovered on my own.
I feel like it either goes one of two ways. It's either parents are musical or they're doctors and lawyers or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I was always jealous of my friends who had musical parents. I was my history teacher and PE teacher parents are not the most musical people.
So who did you listen to as a kid? Because when I was growing up, I got into soundtracks and dance music later on, but early on, I was a pop music guy. My first concert was Britney Spears.
Yeah. My first concert was Kelly Clarkson, so same vein. Yeah, yes. So Taylor Swift, I was big Swifty throughout high school and stuff. And then I started getting into folk music more towards the end of high school. So I discovered Joni Mitchell, which was very exciting. Yeah, so now I'm more of a folk Americana sort of person, but definitely pop throughout middle and high school.
And the tears form a whirlpool in the center of my face. I breathe in, then forget to breathe out. And my lips form the shape of all I wanna say, but can't force the words out of my mouth.
I do hear a lot of folklore on your EP.
Yeah.
Available now. Too big for the playground, too small for the big leagues.
Yes.
Did you set out to make this EP, or were you let me just write something and see what comes out?
Yeah, it was something I'd always wanted to do, but I didn't really know how. And I had a backlog of songs basically, but none of these are from that. It was all songs that I'd started writing probably beginning last July or so, when I had started posting clips online. And so once I started gaining more attention, I was okay, this is something I can realistically follow through with.
I have two favorites for different reasons. So Family Tree is fun because it's the sing-along song. That's the one you're going to play live, and fingers crossed everyone joins along.
Hopefully.
And Burnout is the other one. There's a nostalgic quality to it that I can't really put my finger on.
Thanks. Yeah, that's good to hear. Burnout is probably my favorite if I had to pick one on the EP.
And I smoke out the window when my parents are home. Leave a light on at night if I'm sleeping alone. And my mailbox is full, but no one calls my phone anyway. I think I burned out a while ago. right one day.
What I do, I think, with songwriting is I write a verse and a chorus usually, and then I put it aside. And if I feel like I want to come back to it, that's when I finish it. And so that's what happened with all these. And there were a lot of other songs where I wrote maybe a first verse and a chorus, but never finished them. But these were the ones that I'd finished.
Now, everybody knows and loves the Swifts and the Sheerans, but are there any, lesser known artists that people might not know, but that are really inspirational to you?
Oh yeah, a lot of Vermont artists. So Henry Jameson is an artist from Burlington, and he's like my comfort go-to artist. So he was like really influential, I think, or still is, like in my music making process. I wouldn't say he's like underground or anything, but he's lesser known definitely than like Taylor Swift.
Is there a big Vermont scene? I've never been to Vermont, so. Yeah,
a little bit. Noah Kahan is also from Vermont. I listen to a lot of his music. Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. Who else? There's definitely others. Fish is from Vermont, although I don't really listen to Fish.
You get a lot of Ben and Jerry's jokes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite flavor?
It used to be half baked. I don't know. I mean, honestly, fish food is really good. So maybe that one.
I haven't had that one. Okay. I like American Dream.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. What is your songwriting process? Lyrics first? Do you have a theme and you set out, I'm going to write something about this specific thing, or how's that come?
It's almost always lyrics first. Sometimes there's a melody that comes with the lyrics, but most of the time it's just words and then I do everything else later. As far as topic goes, I think I rarely sit down. I'm going to write about this thing. It's sort of, it sounds dumb, but like moments of inspiration. And then you sit down and you flesh it out. That's my process.
Would you ever consider writing for other people? Because a lot of singer-songwriters like Julia Michaels, like she, started putting out her own stuff more recently, but for years she was writing for all the other pop acts.
Yeah, she's incredible. This is a little off topic, but I remember I went and looked at her entire catalog of like what she's written. It's crazy. There's like hundreds and hundreds of songs. Yeah, absolutely. That's something I'd be interested in.
You're in college right now, so what are you studying?
I'm studying linguistics, so, not really related to music at all, but it helps with my songwriting.
Word choice and things like that, yeah. So have you had a chance to perform live yet?
Not since everything started picking up. The last time I really performed live was like senior year of high school, which is crazy because that was like 3 years ago. But I've been doing like TikTok live and stuff. That's not the same really, but it gives me a little taste of like.
Yeah. I feel you. Because I wanted to ask about because when you write songs, they're, usually in your bedroom alone, think with your own thoughts, with your own words, but then you have to broadcast them or perform them in front of people, and it's like your personal stuff. Does that feel weird to you when you're doing it live?
Not really. I think I've really written it all out and taken out the parts where like maybe I wouldn't want to broadcast that to like everybody. So it's all stuff I'm comfortable just like sharing with people, obviously, because I think they can relate. But it is the weirdest part, I think, is like for friends and family members playing them really personal stuff and having to just be okay with whatever they think. I would like to hopefully live in a city someday, but also I really like Burlington, so I'm not sure yet.
Are there any places you want to visit, whether for music or otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, I've only ever been out of the country to go to Iceland, which was awesome. I like backpacked through Iceland for 2 weeks when I was 18. But I would love to go like visit other places in Europe, Australia. I was gonna go to New Zealand for a gap year, but obviously not gap year, for study abroad, but that got canceled. I would also love to go to...
If you were there, you would have been just fine.
I know. That's the hard part is like, I would have been okay.
Yeah.
I've established Vermont is like just very influential in general. It's really nice to live in a state where you can just look outside and there's like mountains everywhere. And just a lot of great art comes out of Vermont in general. And yeah, I love my family. They're incredible and super supportive. I always strive to be like them.
Do they have a favorite song?
My mom really likes Mitosis because she gets sort of shout out. My dad really likes Burnout. Yeah, which is funny because there's that line about, well, I'll say like, what's funny about that song is none of the things I'm talking about have ever really happened to me. So there's that line about smoking out the window when my parents are home. And they're like, yeah, that's not you.
What are you hoping people take away from your EP? Is there any certain message or anything?
Well, it was definitely about that feeling of like coming home and having been away for a while, and now I'm back in my childhood bedroom and like coming to terms with that. So feeling stuck in between being like a kid and then also but having all these responsibilities that are fairly adult. So it was definitely about that feeling of like, I'm not totally sure where my place in the world is yet.
Are you trained in any way?
Not really. I did take guitar lessons in middle school, but most of it is self-taught. And piano, I never really took lessons for.
Okay, because a lot of your harmonies and stuff, so those were all just you figuring it out?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah, I'm actually taking my next term, I'm taking an AP music. Well, not AP because it's college, but like first music theory course, which is exciting.
Okay. You might find it more boring than you want it to be. Because like I said, I was drumming at 4, so I'm by, middle school, I was all over the place. And then I got lessons and it was pat, pat, pat.
Yeah.
Pat. I was like, I can't do this.
Back to basics, yeah. I would love to learn how to read music. That'd be super helpful. It obviously is like learning another language, so I think that's something I would have to take a class on because I don't really want to teach myself that. I met a lot of really cool people on TikTok, which is just, there's a lot to critique about that platform, but it has given me a lot of opportunities to connect with people, and that's awesome. Moira and Claire, they're a Canadian sister duo. They have fun music. I found out about Jensen McRae through TikTok, and she's incredible also.
Do you have any pets?
Oh, yes, I have 2 dogs. They're at doggy daycare right now, but when I'm away, usually my parents send them to doggy daycare. Well, they're at work. But yeah, and they're sort of really loud when I'm in class, so it's nice to have some quiet also.
So musically, what's next?
Well, I'm already sort of working on another project. I'm not totally sure what it is yet. I think probably more of a full-length album. But obviously my main focus right now is school, and then hopefully in summertime I'll have more time to like record.
Isabel's debut EP, Too Big for the Playground, Too Small for the Big Leagues, is available now on all the major platforms. You can hear her music and all other artists featured on Indie Echo by going to the show's Spotify playlist. Indie Echo is a production of Hi5 Music, an online production studio that turns your bedroom pop songs into Spotify-ready hits. I hope you'll join us for the next Indie Echo. But for now, thank you for listening to this one.
La 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 la.